You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey again, everybody. Welcome back into Locked On Bama. Luke Robinson. That's me. Jimmy Stein. That's him. Jimmy, how are you today?
Good. I'm watching this Auburn stuff with it's kind of, everybody's going to have a different attitude about Auburn. I think we both do. The way I look at what goes on over there is it's sort of like a favorite TV show. I mean, like, I don't care what's going on over there. But when something is happening that's interesting, I'm like in rapt attention. I mean, it's like I enjoy watching this in terms of like what the hell's going to happen. I'm not rooting for, against. I don't know. I'm just enjoying. I guess it's just like, you buy your ticket and you go to the circus.
I'm rooting against. I don't mind saying that at least. Also, Auburn is nothing if not interesting. Right. All the time. They're interesting all the time. They are, as my brother put it, we just had our defensive coordinator get a DUI covered in Taco Bell, allegedly. And they one-up us with these rumors about their football coach, which we will get to in just 1 second. But I think, Jimmy, as we are Locked On Bama, let's start with the new basketball arena, which is going to happen. And it's glorious. It's beautiful. I know that some Auburn folks have taken shots at it. I've had some of my friends who were Auburn fans say, it looks like a barn. You're copying us, blah, blah. I don't care. Because you know what? It's better than what we got. A lot better than what we got. A lot better. And this is going to be awesome. And I know Nate Oates took the little verbal jab about Auburn being in a smaller arena, and now our arena is going to be smaller. Don't care about that. Yep, I thought that was a little much by Nate, to be honest with you. I wish he hadn't said that. Say a bunch of other things. Don't say that. But I don't care. I've been saying for a long time, I mean, since I was in college at Alabama, we don't need 15,000 seats. And if we're going to do 15,000 seats, that's fine. We've got to do a whole new arena with 15,000 seats. But I'm fine doing 10,500 or 11,000 in a new place that's going to have all this natural light, which all I know is a buzzword for architects now. Natural light, they just like it in everything. It's got natural light. All of a sudden, the value goes up for whatever reason. So I'm fine with it, and it looks fantastic. And it means we're making a commitment, and then they're going to move it, and we're going to have better parking, and everything's going to be better. So I don't care if anybody thinks it looks like a barn. It might a little bit. I don't care. We're in Alabama. We're kind of country, y'all. Have y'all not figured this out? So if it looks a little bit like a barn, don't care. It's going to be awesome. Jimmy, do you disagree?
No. I couldn't be more excited. About those things, to me, it's just about paying for it. And once Alabama determined this is something that they could pay for, that was the moment I got really excited. I wasn't one of these, we've got to build a new place, just simply because, the easiest thing in the world to do is to spend someone else's millions. So, I mean, the way I look at it is I'm like, man, when someone else is ready to pay for that, I'm going to be really excited about it. But until that day comes, I guess I'm just going to support the team playing in Coleman Coliseum. And Nate's built a heck of a program. No one needs to think that that's not the case just because we lost to Auburn on the road this week. We're a heck of a program. We're getting better. The recruiting's going great, regardless of what building they're playing in. This is a really good team that can accomplish a whole lot this year.
They can. And I also think this is a good sign for keeping Nate. And I really want to keep Nate. I think he probably had something to do with this in a sense, the success last year. And frankly, what are you doing?
I was moving the screen. I was pointing at you.
I thought you were shooting me a bird.
I was pointing at you. No, I was trying to move I don't like where my screen is. I love how people watch our show just to watch us struggle with the technology. That's weird.
You don't like where your screen is. Most of our viewers don't like where our cameras are pointed.
We're lucky we got this far, people. We are lucky we got this far.
Okay. let me go ahead and tell everybody about betonline.net. There might be less football being played, but betonline.net has way more stuff to bet on than just football. Look, from scores, totals, player performance props to where the next coach is going to be fired, whatever. BetOnline is number one spots for all things betting and especially NFL. There's also, still some more NFL stuff going on a daily basis. Go to betonline.net and check it out. Look, and it's not just football. BetOnline.net's basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC odds coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your number one source for your wagering destinations. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts. Jimmy, that's where the game starts. There's also, I want to tell everybody about Built Bar. Built.com is where you go to get these delicious, nutritious Built Bars. I love them. Use promo code LOCKED15. Get 15% off that order. I don't know why you're shaking your head. Could you disagree with me?
No, with everything you're saying. I just get texts that are like, these Auburn people. I'm laughing at the Auburn show is what I'm doing. I'm laughing at the Auburn.
Okay.
You go right ahead with this live read, which was
I will, and then I'll let you
laughing at Auburn.
Okay, so Built Bar, these things are delicious, nutritious, scrumptious. You're going to love them. Go check them out. They're good for a keto or a keto diet. Again, if you're not familiar with the keto diet, that is something Jimmy thought a keto diet was, when really a keto diet is when you sleep on the couch of your murderous friend and you lose weight because of anxiety, apparently. But they're good for whatever diet you want to be on. Built Bar. Go to BUILT.com to check out Built Bars and get you one using promo code LOCK15. All right, Jimmy, you got any text or tweets or anything you want to share really quickly before we dive into this?
I was just laughing at Auburn posts where the Auburn fans have apparently decided that even though they have a dumpster fire the size of Texas, that Matt Rule, of all people, is going to leave his head coaching job in the National Football League to dive right into Matt Rule. Yeah, good. That's what I was just. What is it about being a fan that makes some people incapable of rational thought? I mean,
well, as fans, and now I'm including us, fans are stupid. By the way,
we are. Now, we are, but no one else has an excuse.
Yeah, that's true. Now, look, everybody knows about this so far, I guess. The rumors of Brian Harsin allegedly having an affair with, I guess, somebody who's an Auburn staffer now, who's roughly 21 years old, very good looking, very attractive, very accomplished, apparently. Those are the rumors. Now, are they true? I no idea. Is it true, though, that some other former players like Lee Hunter, who is such an Auburn guy, that John Garcia, who's a friend of the program, from SI.com came out and said, look, Lee Hunter once told me, if Auburn ever offers me, my recruitment's over. I'm going to Auburn. I don't give a dang about the rest of it. And that's what he did. But Lee Hunter has since left the program, going to UCF, and he had this diatribe about how much he loves Auburn on Instagram today, and then ended it with essentially Brian Harsin isn't what y'all think he is, kind of thing. I'm not going verbatim. There have been some other current players and current recruits standing up for Harsin. I don't know what to believe. I do know that Twitter has been merciless on Auburn, just as Auburn has been merciless on everybody else during this basketball season. One of my friends who's an Auburn fan texted me this morning and said, you've got to be enjoying this. I said, dude, I got ripped all over Auburn Twitter for saying that most Auburn fans are acting as if they are distant relatives of Jim Naismith. Jim Naismith? Did I just butcher that? I'll probably get ripped again for that.
Naismith.
James Naismith. I'm calling him Jim. They call him Jim because they were related to him. But so, and I said, yeah. So I'm sort of enjoying this. That it all what goes around comes around, and I don't know if this is true or not, or if this is some power move by some big time folks at Auburn University who don't like Harsin for whatever reason, or just wanted some other coach in there. I don't know. I know this. That look, if Harsin had just so much as kept Alabama and Ja'Cory Brooks out of the end zone right before the end of the game, right before the end of regulation, I should say, in the Iron Bowl, if Auburn had just won that, gotten a first down, Tank Bigsby doesn't go out of bounds, whatever, I don't think any of this is happening. This is about W's and L's. Now, my brother said it's more about T and A, but it's about W's and L's. And if you're winning, you can do whatever. Bruce Pearl can go to Toomer's Corner and take, uh, gut a unicorn in front of everybody while ripping the tag off of a mattress and without written consent, taping a Major League Baseball game, and he will get a raise. Brian Harsin is losing so much that there's just about nothing he could do to help himself right now. It's all about wins and losses. We don't, an Auburn fan came back at me on a text chain and said, "Yeah, I really love what Nick Saban said about we've never paid a player. I really believe that." And I said, "Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of like hiring a coach with a show cause who gets you on probation again and giving him $50 million. See, it's all about wins and losses. And that's universal. That's not just Auburn. That's not just Alabama. That's everywhere. If you're winning, Will Wade, you will get to keep your job. When you start losing in any capacity, it doesn't make a damn how good of a person you are. You'll get thrown under the bus." And everything I've seen about Brian Harsin tells me he's probably a pretty good dude. Okay, before this. You and I have been making jokes about the Scientology thing because we're fans and we joke about other teams' coaches. That's what we do. But it seems like he's been a pretty good dude before this. But if this is true, then he probably needs to go. If it's not true, he needs to sue anybody and everybody, probably including me, who has had anything to say about this. Because Twitter, I thought, was the coldest place on earth before this came out. And I mean, every tweet that's out there right now is dealing with either Harsin or this girl. And it's pretty nuts.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true or not. I 100% agree with you. This is about wins and losses, because what happens is when you're winning and everyone loves the coach and a rumor like this pops up, everyone is in total denial. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It doesn't matter what the video evidence is or what the text messages say. Everyone's in total denial. It's spin. It's our rivals are doing this. This is no big deal. It's a setup. No one wants to believe it, and they'll rationalize all the behavior and everything going on because we love the coach because he's winning. When you're losing and rumors like this pop up, now those Auburn fans who have no confidence in Harsin, they're hoping it's true. They're hoping it's true to the point they speak it into existence. I mean, so I don't know if it's true. I don't honestly care if it's true because it's Auburn and I'm an Alabama guy and I'm just I got my own Bama problems to worry about.
Yeah, we still got to bail out our DC.
yeah, we got that and hiring coaches, and we've only won one national championship in 4 years. But hey, I know this is what I'm rooting for, and everybody's going to root there. This is what I'm rooting for. This is what I almost hope. I hope that Auburn fires Brian Harsin for cause related to a relationship with an employee. And then it comes out that none of it was true. It was never true. He never did anything inappropriate in that way. And that the girl and Harsin sue Auburn and win $50 million apiece. That's what I'm hoping happens, because and the only reason I hope that happens is because that would be so entertaining. It's so college football. College football is endless entertainment. And I would find all of that entertaining, that they fire him for doing something that he didn't do. And this poor girl who, if she's never done anything wrong at all, what social
that we
media,
know of. I mean,
what social media has done to her is outrageous. Outrageous. If she hasn't done anything wrong, she's an innocent victim in all this. She'll deserve every dollar of that $50 million coming her way.
No, I'm with you on that. And that is the part that, like, every now and again, when this all first started coming out and like the pictures of her were coming out, and again, she's really attractive. I mean, she's young, she's good looking, she seems very smart and with it. Everybody was taking these shots and doing the, like all the Auburn memes have had the guys with the laser beams coming out of their eyes. They got laser beams coming out of her eyes and all this other stuff. And I really did think, I stopped for a second because you get caught up in it, right? And I'm like, God, if this isn't true. I mean, if that was my daughter, I'd be livid. I mean, I would be losing my mind. I couldn't find everybody enough to give them a piece of my mind. Now the other side of it is, if it is true, if you ask me, it's whatever she gets, she gets. I mean, because you should know better than this. I mean, you should know better than this. This is not good. This don't ever do this. But I'm not. I don't even know what to. I'm not saying I'm pulling for anything, Jimmy. I don't know because
Yeah.
y- y- boy, it's just it's a sticky wicket, and there's so many rumors, and you wonder like, why are y'all talking about it if you don't know the truth? Because it's all over
Who
everything.
knows? I mean, yeah, you can't
You
escape
know,
it. No, it's on the crawl. It's ESPN just put out a story. I haven't been
did
able
they
to read it
really?
yet. ESPN just put out a story. I haven't been able to read it yet. I mean, it's on every Alabama message board. I can't imagine what it's like Auburn. I get constant texts and some tweets about it. And it's just because it's salacious. The girl, she's going to attract some attention. Her Instagram account is everywhere. I just, hey, let's remember, there are a lot of innocent parties here, and those are the kids that play football for Auburn, that don't know who their coach is going to be now. Um, it's a mess. And who knows? It'll probably be our turn in the barrel one of these days. But
No. Oh, look, Jimmy. We didn't have a barrel. We had a kiddie pool. We had Mike Price in a strip club with a university credit card. I mean, allegedly yelling out things like "It's rolling, baby." That's
yeah,
We had that.
still
Okay.
not over. That was like 17 years ago now. It's 18 years ago, 19 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm not over it.
we had
I still can't believe it happened and it was 19 years ago. Like, that wasn't
I know,
real. That didn't really happen. Oh, it happened.
we had we've had a football coach and a basketball coach have affairs with their secretaries that got them in trouble. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
we have been there. It just the difference is there wasn't Twitter.
Oh,
So,
God.
God, can you imagine Twitter with Mike Price? Holy cow. Um,
I mean, I've said this before. Here's my most controversial statement. But I believe if Twitter and social media existed during the Wimp Sanderson era, he would have been fired before we ever
oh,
got to the secretary thing, because we never got past the Sweet 16, and he would have been fired for it
true.
back then, because he
No, that's
raised the bar, couldn't get past the bar. He would have been assailed. In fact, we look back on it in reverence, and I do. I think Wimp's one of the all-time great coaches in SEC history, and as far as I'm concerned, we should name the new arena after him. But I'm just saying that's what social media is. They would have killed. They would have killed Wimp in that era. I 100% believe that.
all right, Jimmy, let's take a break. I want to come back and keep on this theme because it's funny. I got a couple of stories about all this, about guys that probably would have been fired if the social media era had been upon us then.
Bear Bryant, 68, 69, and 70. There's one.
All right, so Jimmy, we're back with this, and you're right. You mentioned Bear Bryant. Certainly, he would have been gone. There are a gazillion rumors out there about Bryant. Not just the amount he drank, but some womanizing stuff. I mean, it's all out there, and all of it's hearsay. I mean, there are probably some people listening to this going, "No,
No,
my
what
dad
it
would
was,
eat him."
exactly on your point. What would have happened with all those Bryant rumors like that, whether it's the drinking and the women and stuff like that? No one would have cared in 1966. They all would have dismissed it as bullshit. They would have dismissed it as bullshit in the mid 70s and late 70s. But had it come out in 68, when all of a sudden they went 500 for 3 years, he'd have been fired.
that's
That's,
you
that's
were.
exactly what would have happened.
That's so right. And then, you know, like a story like this, which is funny to me. But when I think about trying to tell this story in today's language, I think people would say that I'm an enabler, that I don't sympathize with people who deal with alcohol abuse enough, et cetera, et cetera. But the story is, and I want to say I heard this from Eli Gold at some kind of speaking engagement, but it may not have been Eli. I can't remember where I heard it. But apparently, Kenny Stabler and Eli Gold and some other folks were out after a game back when they were the broadcast partners. And the bartender says, "Okay, last call." And Kenny stands up throws his beer mug against the wall. It shatters. And everybody goes, "What in the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "Well, look, the time was running out. I had to stop the clock." I mean, that's a funny story, but if you tell it now to the wrong person, they will say, "You're not woke enough." I mean, you don't understand what it's like when you have a drinking problem, or see, Kenny was calling out for help, or Kenny's just a rude asshole and y'all should have fired him on the spot. And and I guess in a way, the truth is in the middle because but regardless,
Just think the story's funny.
it is. But I mean, think about how long would Pat Dye have lasted at Auburn? I mean, because there would have been so many stories out there. There were already plenty stories out there about his drinking escapades. Um, but that's every single coach. Mark Gottfried had rumors about him and a young lady back in the day at Alabama. And when Alabama was winning, there were rumors out there, but nobody said anything. And then as Alabama started to hit a malaise with Gottfried, things started ratcheting up. It's the way it is now. People use this against you. It's almost like, here, you have all this power. Now do whatever you want to with it. And if you win, nobody's going to say nothing. But the
Yeah.
moment we think that you're going to start losing, if you think for 1 second, if Bruce Pearl has 2 years like he had last year in a row, if you think people aren't going to start screaming for his head, you're wrong.
That's exactly right. That's just the world we're living in now, and I guess we should have seen it coming. I mean, it used to be, gosh, he was only there 4 years. You didn't give him enough time to get, a full 5 years of all of his players on the team. And then it was, he's only been here 3 years. And then it was, he's only been here 2 years. And now it's almost commonplace. I mean, look what they did to that Houston Texans guy. I don't know all the facts as I should about that, but I think his name's David Culley. Gets hired in 2-0. The Houston Texans had the most impossible situation in the entire NFL with one of the best quarterbacks in the world, unable to play, didn't have a quarterback, couldn't make a trade for one, hamstrung by the cap because of the quarterback that you can't even put on the field. It's an impossible situation, and he still won more games than 4 or 5 teams. And what do? Fired him after one season.
It's insane.
That's the world we're living in. It's not one of these days, these college and NFL coaches will be fired for having a bad record in the midst of their first season. We didn't expect we'd start out 2-4, so we had to make a change. That's what's coming, because what else is left?
Yeah, that's right. We're not going backwards.
Yeah.
We're not going to have less stress in this because
And I've said this before, Luke. Boy, this will get me on a rant, but I mean this is true. This is why coaches don't want to play games. People like, and this spring game, the A-Day is boring. Why can't Alabama even play Livingston? Why can't Alabama play Mississippi College in the spring? Why does it always have to be? They should play a game in the spring. More people would come to the games. This is why they can't play a game in the spring. They'd get fired. People would have high expectations about next year, and then the team looks like shit in the spring game. They'd get fired. And that sounds stupid. It's not stupid at all. It's exactly what would happen somewhere. Some team, Arkansas, huge expectations for next season. What happens if they lost their spring game 42-0?
Yep.
I mean, what if Harsin did? What if none of this stuff with the girl, which we don't even know is true? Frankly, I don't even think it's true. But what if none of that stuff is true? We're just upset with Harsin because of the record and all the kids left, and in their spring game, they played Samford and they lost. He'd be fired that afternoon. He wouldn't make it to the summer. That's why these coaches don't want to play spring games. It's because that's what it's gotten to. A game that doesn't even count will get you fired. And welcome to 2020.
And the irony in all this, even just in this podcast, we have gone from like laughing about the Harsin situation to actually feeling sorry for the guy. Like, this is
Here I'm defending him. Give him an extension.
And we shouldn't be feeling sorry for him because, in my opinion, I know that one of the other rumors out there is all this is coming out so that they can fire him, quote unquote, with cause.
Right.
I can't imagine there's not some kind of lawyer out there. We got enough lawyers on billboards in Alabama. Somebody's going to say, y'all, that ain't enough cause. That somebody's going to challenge something, I would assume. And so my point is, I think Harsin's going to get something out of this one way or the other. So, either he's going to continue to coach and make good money, or he's going to be fired and get good money on the backside. I don't know. But I'm saying I guess we shouldn't feel too sorry for him, because he's going to come out okay regardless of the situation. The people we should feel sorry for is probably this girl involved, Harsin's family, the players that were recruited by Harsin, that do love him. There's a kid named what's his name? Damari Alston, is that his name, for the running back that committed to Auburn, that signed with Auburn? Anyway, what doesn't matter. He's from Georgia, and he's a good player, and he's been like all team Harsin the whole time, and I respect that. So you would feel sorry for a kid like that who commits to a coach and believes in what the coach is doing, and then the coach is gone, whether justly or unjustly. But anyway, look, we're locked on Bama, and I know some people are like, why are you talking about Auburn so much? First of all, because Bama's kind of been there. We just weren't in there so much in the social media era. And secondly, they are our arch rival. So yeah, we're going to talk about it some, and it's out there. So why not talk about it? We weren't going to do a podcast today. How about that? But between the new basketball facility and all this stuff coming out, hell, we hadn't even had time to fit in Alabama playing Kentucky, and Kentucky having to travel through an ice storm to get there.
You think we're going to win that game?
No.
I'm not sure. I was asked yesterday on the radio show, and on the radio, I picked Kentucky to win, and at the same time saying, but it's okay. It's okay. I think Alabama basketball right now, the team is in a little bit of a reset, and I think we're starting to come out of it. This is what I think is going to happen. This is all I want to see, win or lose. I hope we play well, and I hope we play hard, and I hope we push them to the point that whoever wins the game, it's not decided until the final minute. If we do that, I will feel like we've hit the reset button and we're on our way back. And we can accomplish a lot of things this year if we're playing our best basketball around March 1st, not around February 1st, around March 1st. So that's what I want to see tomorrow night. Awesome effort, play well, play hard, make Kentucky earn a tough road win. If we do that, we're on track of getting out of this little dip we're in.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in again, and we will talk to you probably on Sunday. So until then, roll tide, everybody.
Roll tide.